Yo, what's going on, gamers? It's your boy Hogger. I'm 69 here. In today's video, I'm going to be power scaling every character in the hit movie Chop Kick Panda. I know this video has been done to death before, but I just really wanted to put my opinion out there and just, have a conversation with you guys. This is definitely one of my more controversial lists, so, post your comments down below if you disagree, but I really do think I have enough reasoning and experience power scaling to, justify where I'm putting these characters. First of all, let's get into the list. We have no one in F tier. Even the weaker characters in Chop Kick Panda are much stronger than the weakest characters in, say, the Lorax, or even some of like the more mid-tier fighters in the Lorax. I think everyone's pretty strong in this series. But in D tier, we do have the nerd. Um, once again, my notes are right there. Who's very annoying and thinks dinosaurs are dead. He rejects the truth. His only skill is rock paper scissors, which isn't very impressive. He shows no feats of battle intelligence, despite being shown as the smart character. Also, he moved the slowest out of all the children, as shown here.
If you pay close attention, he is the slowest to disappear.
Barely shows baseline speed stats, not very impressive overall. But also, in D tier, we have the Zebo child. No feats except for the speed feat that, all the children have, and I think that's more like a baseline thing. No feats of strength or intelligence, although he's the master of guilt-tripping his father. Really nothing to write home about with a funny tiny panda. Power level 19, on par with Nerd Kid. That's what the nerds it's to. And while I'm here, I'm just going to say that the cat lady is also 19 as well. I think most of the children are equal in power. There's nothing special about any of them, except one, but I'm sure you already know who it is. Alrighty, in C tier we have base Zebo. He broke his back with just like by flexing his muscles and using them. He broke a board by falling on it. He has insane endurance, beating a child in rock paper scissors by outlasting him. And lastly, he has an instant meditation technique. It's actually really impressive. Not really good for combat though, which is it's whatever, but it's still kind of impressive. But that's really where it ends. He broke the board with the tackle attack, but it's not really shown to be very effective in an actual fight when it didn't do any noticeable damage to Bali. His power level is 123. Speaking of Bali, he's next on the list. Most people put Bali in B tier, but I really do disagree. I think he's much stronger than base Zebo, but not enough to put him in a tier above. Bali is able to dispatch Zebo easily, and even tank his tackle attack, which I guess is impressive. It broke a board. He's also a master of peer pressure, but his feats really just aren't that impressive. All he does is fight weaker people than him, and as soon as he fights someone decently strong, anyone in an above tier, he gets absolutely clapped, which is why he's not in a higher tier, because he just couldn't beat anyone above him. Don't get me wrong, he's very strong, good at martial arts, good endurance, good attack, Overall, power level 382. B tier. Oh boy. So these are definitely my most controversial placements. We have Grandmaster Han. Most people put him in A tier because they feel like they haven't seen the fullest of his potential, but I can't justifiably put him any higher with the feats we've seen. He just doesn't do much. He only really fights Sherman and he loses, and you'll see that in a bit that Sherman isn't very powerful anyway. However, Han is still a Grandmaster and it's definitely more stronger than most of the kids and Bali. He does have matter creation, which is pretty cool, but it's only shown to be used with a book, which isn't useful at all in most circumstances. And when it did have anything in it, it was blank. If he was shown creating anything else, I would put him much higher, but as of right now, it's only a book. He has shown baseline level endurance when he fell from that block tower, but he was hurt. I don't feel good putting him any higher than B tier with the feats we've seen. Power level 485. Sherman, yeah, he's also in B tier, and he's above Han. Not a lot of people do that. I know this is another controversial pick, but I don't think too highly of Sherman. First of all, Sherman is a stupid name. I get why he hides his true name. He goes by Slade, but for this list, I'm going to call him Sherman. And other than that, he doesn't have any feats. He beats Han, but guess what? Like I said, Han wasn't very strong. He didn't have any feats whatsoever. The power levels of the series aren't as drastic as say the Lorax, which has one of the most diverse power systems in the meta. Um, baseline power level in Chop Kick Panda is much higher than the Lorax's, but the ceiling is much lower, so that's why he's this high, even though he has no feats. Anyway, Sherman only beating Han, so that puts him a bit higher than Han. Power level 753. Oh boy. Here, this is the juicy stuff. Zebo is crazy with the amulet. His amulet Fury Panda mode, AFPMZ for short, is one of the strongest modes of the series. He beats Sherman and Bali with little to no trouble. But this is the crazy part. You can see that he's spinning them off in one direction. But when he hits Bali and Sherman, he's hitting them in both directions. It's absolutely crazy. I don't know how he does this. Not to mention he also has telekinesis when he takes the broom and it just I could go into AFPMZ for a while, but I'll just make an entire video on it later. Power level 12,423. SS tier, Koji. Yeah, everyone saw this coming. This is not a surprise to literally anyone. There are countless videos explaining why Koji is the strongest character, or the weakest. It's a hot topic, but I really do think Koji is in the SS tier. He moves around 299,792,457 meters per second, which is more than the measly 321 meters per second that the children move. The children move just under the speed of sound, because they don't break the sound barrier when they move, of course, but Koji is just so skilled that he doesn't create a sound when he moves. Koji actually moves at the speed of light, or directly under the speed of light, and Koji can go faster than this. He just holds back so he doesn't create a black hole and destroy the universe. This is the reason why I put Koji on the level of some characters like Granny from the Lorax, but not above her. His black hole technique is an insta-kill move on anyone, but it also insta-kills him. Koji can only go at the speed of light, not above it, which is why Koji is not stronger than Granny. Koji also only has speed feats, so while he might be able to dish out damage, it is not inherently shown and I can infer. So Koji might be completely useless against an opponent with high endurance. Koji also has slight matter creation, but this could just be him moving fast enough to go and grab the mask. So while most people buff his power level because of this, I will not. Koji also has a small stun move, but he already moves faster than the eye can see, so it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. All in all, Koji is the most powerful being in the universe, competing with Granny as the strongest character so far. Power level 20,000. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It gives me the dopamine. I will be doing more videos like this, so please stay tuned. That's all for this video, and goodbye. Yeah, I had to read that off a script.